Hello everyone, this is Jeff Mazzeo, CMO at Cytara. One of the questions that we get asked quite frequently by prospective customers is, what are the advantages of Cytara DLX and our approach to lab instrument integration or lab asset integration relative to the more traditional approach of point-to-point integrations? So obviously this is a complex question that I could spend a lot of time on, but what I wanted to focus on is, what do we consider to be the 6 most important advantages of Cytara DLX versus point-to-point integration for integrating all of your laboratory assets. The first one that I'll mention is what we call deployment speed. Because Cytara DLX is a commercial configurable platform, and because it's cloud-based, we can get it up and running in your laboratory in a matter of days. And you can start adding your assets to the platform and automating your workflows. Whereas with point-to-point integrations, it's going to take much longer to do that. Because they're custom and you have to build so many of them, your time to deployment is going to be much, much longer, typically measured in months. The second big advantage of Cytara DLX is that it allows your lab to be more flexible, or as we like to say, it allows you to be more agile. Laboratories today are constantly adding new technology based on new things that your company might be working on. You need to change your methods and your workflows on a regular basis. So you need that flexibility to make changes. Cytara DLX gives you that. For example, if you want to add a new instrument into your laboratory, all you need to do is connect it to our platform, and it immediately can exchange data with every other asset in your laboratory. Contrast this with point-to-point, where if you add something new, you've now got to build all the different point-to-point integrations that you might need to take advantage of that new asset. The third advantage is related to scalability. Because again, Cytara DLX is a cloud-based platform, it has infinite scalability. In other words, as you need to add more instruments or new technology and new methods to your laboratory, you can easily do that with Cytara DLX. Whereas with point-to-point integrations, especially ones that are supported by certain vendors, they oftentimes will have limitations with regard to scalability that you may not even be aware of. The fourth advantage relates to regulated environments. Because what we're doing with Cytara DLX and point-to-point integrations for that matter is we're moving data around the laboratory, one of the things you need to be sure of is that you maintain data integrity for that data while it's in flight. Part of our platform is something that we call the event stream. And in the event stream, we keep a full record of all digital transactions that happen on the platform, which you can go back to at any time to look to see and ensure that data integrity has been maintained. That's something that's just not available with point-to-point integrations. Somewhat related to that is the fifth advantage, which is the validation burden. The validation burden of Cytara DLX is going to be significantly lower than point-to-point integrations. Again, because we're a cloud-based platform, Cytara, for a new version, takes care of the installation qualification and the operational qualification, and will provide that documentation to you. All that needs to be done in your laboratory environment is the performance qualification for your workflows. Now, the event stream that I mentioned before makes that a lot easier to do. And so therefore, we can either have you do that and show you how to do it, or if you prefer Cytara to do that, we can do that as well. But again, the validation burden is much less because the IQ/OQ is taken care of, only the PQ needs to be done. Whereas with point-to-point integrations, you have to worry about everything. So a significantly higher validation burden. And then the final sixth item that I'll mention is kind of a wrapper for everything that we've talked about, and that relates to the costs. And when I speak about cost, I mean it in two ways. One is the predictability of cost, and then obviously the overall cost. Cytara DLX has predictable costs. What you pay for the platform is based on the amount of assets that you have connected to it. So if you need to expand, you know what your cost increase is going to be. Costs are not predictable with point-to-point integrations. You don't know how long it's going to take to build them because they're custom in most cases. More importantly, however, is that the overall operating costs of Cytara DLX are going to be significantly lower, really for all the reasons that we've talked about, as far as the speed with which you can deploy it, the ease of adding new assets, etc. So overall, costs are an enormous advantage for Cytara DLX. So in summary, we think, obviously we're biased, that Cytara DLX has tremendous advantages over the more traditional approach of point-to-point integrations. Point-to-point integrations have been around for a while. They certainly have served the lab industry well, and they've gotten us to a certain state of digital transformation. But to really accelerate digital transformation in the lab and to take full benefit of the power of automation, a newer, more modern cloud-based approach is required, and Cytara DLX offers that. As always, if you have any thoughts on this video, I would love to hear from you. Please reach out with any comments and questions. And until my next video, I'll look forward to seeing you then. Once again, this is Jeff Mazzeo, CMO at Cytara. Have a great day. Thanks.